So I allowed myself to be persuaded, and thereby, if you like, I came by fate to the SS, to be Himmler's adjutant.
Himmler's dream for his elite guard had roots in the fabled past, in the culture of an older, Aryan Germany. When the Nazis came to power in 1933, he could put his ideas into practice.
Himmler had set out to achieve a dream. He would inspire a new awakening of the Germanic race within the German people.
Youth would achieve the dream. Youth had the nerve and the strength that would be needed. Fresh air, exercise, good food to build blood and bone and marrow. There were no limits to what healthy youth could do. And the dream had a pseudo-scientific base, neo-Darwinism, propagated in films like this. Only the fittest survive. The weak go under.
Da heißt's Geduld haben, meine Herren.
That, after all, was the law of nature. Farmers knew it perfectly well. Horses were bred for pace or for the plough. Why not pedigree humans, too? It was time to develop a new race, a better one, a race of supermen. There was no harm in that.
We must see how we could return to a more natural law, but only ever through positive racial thought, how one can improve something and breed it.
Züchten kann niemals unter dem Gedanken, nichts war die Rede.
Never with the thought, it never occurred to us, that we might arrogantly talk about exterminating anybody who didn't happen to have been born with a white skin, or who was culturally inferior to us, or was undesirable.
Dass man den ausrotten wollte.
The SS, the strongest, the purest, the fiercest. They would do more than survive. With Himmler at their head, they would create a racially superior Europe.
The SS was based on the example of the Jesuit order, which had been founded as the elite guard of the Catholic Church. And Himmler had taken much from this: the hierarchy, the strict selection and leadership, and the punishments.
Himmler himself exacts the oath of obedience unto death.
They were subtly conditioned to see themselves as the sons of light, that they were engaged in a struggle against the powers of darkness, and that it was their duty to feel that they were at all times on duty for the nation, and in a wider sense, for the new order in Europe.
Arbeit macht frei. Work sets you free, on the gates of Dachau, a model concentration camp. The SS were Hitler's instrument of terror in the creation of the new order. It was only logical that they should run the camps. Their first prisoners were the dissidents of the Nazi state, political and religious, as well as racial. The SS schooled themselves in brutality, systematically reducing their victims to total subservience, depriving them of individuality. No names, numbers. September 1935, the Nuremberg Laws. In the Reichstag, Hermann Göring spelled out the purpose of the Reich Citizenship Act. and the Act for the Protection of German Blood and German Honor. Pure must not mix with impure. From now on, intermarriage was forbidden, and sex declared illegal between pure Aryan and impure Jew. Appealing to feelings and beliefs deep-rooted in European Christian culture, Nazi propaganda pilloried the dirty Jew. Dishonest, scheming, money-lending capitalist and subversive communist. Verminous, unclean, racially inferior. Jews are not wanted here. But for leaders seeking to unite a people, there were mighty useful scapegoats to unite against. In schools, the Jew boys stood by the blackboard as their classmates pointed out the difference. German school children were taught to despise Jewish culture as soft and evil, to be proud of their own strength, their own purity. From all over Germany, the young converge on Landsberg, the castle where, as a prisoner, Hitler had first set out his theory of a dominant Aryan race. Hitler had dreamed of a youth as fierce as animals, with Christian tenderness and other degenerate soft mutations cleansed, burnt out of them. Now, that youth was growing up to manhood. November 1938, the synagogues burned on Crystal Night. The morning after, Jewish males were marched off to concentration camps. The Jews were isolated, friendless. It was time to get out, if they could. Not many countries opened their doors to the Jews. In Germany, too, bureaucratic obstacles. Jewish emigrants paid stiff charges when they obtained permissions to leave from state officials such as Adolf Eichmann.
I asked Eichmann, why don't you make it easier for these people when they want to get out? You want to get the Jews out, they want to leave of their own accord. Eichmann organized it. And they actually did it as I had envisaged it. There was a representative from the passport office, a representative from the finance authorities, a representative from the shipping offices and transport representatives, and this man, this poor Jewish man who now wanted to emigrate, could make the rounds in 2 hours and could get all his confirmations and could get out. And as I said, I really must say it, Eichmann said to me once, you were actually the inventor of the Central Office for Jewish Emigration.
January 1939. Hitler threatens a new solution to the Jewish problem. If world Jewry drags Germany into another war, that will be the end of the Jews in Europe. September 1939, Germany attacks Poland. The victorious armies parade through Warsaw. Poland will be colonized. The population are not Aryans, they're Slav and Jews.
I remember that in front there was a German band with musical instruments. For me, it was very nice. I was happy. I even remember that I clapped.
German soldiers, aided by some Poles, beat up Jews in the streets. Nazi rule in Poland is based at once on ruthless terror. Any who resist, object, answer back, risk instant execution. There are public hangings by the thousand. The whole of Poland is on the move to be resettled on a racial basis. Those of German origin to Germany, the Poles themselves to designated areas, a workforce without rights in their own country. At the bottom of the heap, the Jews. By order, they will wear the Star of David at all times. There are heavy penalties for not doing so. Wearing it, they are easily identified. The Jews started the war. Now let them clear up the mess. German newsreel cameras could show the people back home that Jews at last were being made to do an honest day's work, to earn their daily bread.
My mother, may her soul rest in peace, asked me to go down to the bakery and stand there the whole night in order to get a loaf of bread, so that there would be something to eat at home the next day. When I arrived, there were already masses and masses of people standing in line. Among us, there were little children, non-Jews, Poles, running around. They pointed at each and every person. That's a Jew, that's a Jew, das Jude, das Jude, das Jude, so that these people would be taken out of line and not get bread. My turn came. I turned around and saw that the boy was a friend with whom I played. I said to him in Polish, "What are you doing?" His answer was, "I'm not your friend. You're a Jew. I don't know you."